Craft beer.
Welcome to Toledo Craft Beer TCB. I'm Josh Wagy.
And I'm Bobby DeSeyn.
And we're here at Swig on Thursday during the farmers market, so it's super crazy around here right now.
Super busy. Everybody walking behind us and whatnot.
Yeah, the farmers market down here is always a huge turnout, so we figured instead of shooting inside in the dark, we'd shoot out here on the patio and show everybody what's going on. Everybody walking by.
Really nice out.
Yeah. And it's National IPA Day.
Oh. I'm drinking a Unibrew Ephemere, something refreshing, but
Dogfish 90, so I can join everybody else.
But we are at, like we said, we're at Swig in Perrysburg, one of the preeminent craft beer bars.
Totally. I mean, they've definitely put themselves on the map as being probably almost the craft beer place around Toledo and the surrounding areas.
Yep, absolutely.
They're known for always. Every time you come in, they always have 12 different things you never heard of or had before. So you always get to try new things.
Well, and also, I mean, they've got a hand pump, you know, so they can do firkins, they can do casks. You know, I think they were the first around to do that. I mean, you know, Mommy Bay was doing it, you know, a couple years ago, but they've kind of, I think they're bringing that back now. They've started doing some pins, but you know, Swig has a double hand pump in here, so you know, they always usually have something on cask, which is pretty cool. I think they picked that up maybe about a year and a half ago, which is pretty neat. So,
yeah, you don't see that around too much, though. I know it's coming back, but occasionally I'll run into it. Jolly Pumpkin had one. I was in Cleveland.
Really?
They had their dark stout on.
Ooh.
And then I was in Cleveland, the Buckeye Beer Engine.
Oh
they
yeah,
had
they
a
always
couple
have.
things on there. Yeah. But that was about the only places I've seen that have them. So if a place does have it, I always try whatever's on. You know, you have to. You're like,
Exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would love to have Madrugada Obscura on cast. That must have been pretty awesome.
Definitely, it was part of my flight.
But this is, you know, like we said, this is Swig. You know, they kind of have a rotating, what is it, 18 handles?
Yeah, there's a bunch. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that they keep a steady 6 on. And then the rest just kind of rotate through styles and you know, and breweries.
Right.
So it's kind of neat, you know, to see. I mean, you could walk in here and, you know, something blow right before you walk in, you know, and then you don't have the same thing for another 2 months, you know.
100%. I've had people be here and say, hey, you know, they have something crazy like Zombie Dust, or they have, you know, something crazy from Founders. It's like, get up here, and I'll show up, like, you know, when I can in a couple hours, and it's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Yep.
And they're like, where were you? You know, it's like, why didn't you get here? And it's like, sometimes you got to make my priorities were all screwed up that day, obviously. But no, they always have crazy stuff on draft, and I always come up here. I usually spend half my time going through their list and going through Beer Advocate and trying to figure out which ones I want to change, which ones I want to try, and what they got going on. So, it's really cool.
You know, I was talking to Tony, owns Swig, you know, and to get a little bit of history on the place, he said that they started up in, I think it was April of 2009.
Okay. Yeah.
And they didn't start out right away with craft beer, but by the summer, you know, 3 months later, you know, he just said, you know what, this is what I drink. This is what I'm going to put out there. Because they were doing, you know, they have really good food here. You know, it's like nice handmade pub food. I mean, they do, you know, a lot of charcuterie here. You know, all of their sausages are made in-house, and it's the perfect pairing for craft beer. So, you know, he said within 3 months that they just decided, you know what, enough with all this domestic stuff. You know, we've got a lot of handles. Let's just start throwing it up there. So, you know, it is kind of nice. I mean, they do get a lot of variety. I mean, they're very well known for having, you know, they do every couple months, they'll do a tap takeover. I think they just had a Dark Horse and a New Holland within the past couple months. I know that we had like a collaboration Sierra Nevada Dogfish. When they did the Rising Minds, that double IPA.
Right.
You know, we kind of did that in the middle, and then we did, you know, I think it was 4 and 4 on each side, or 5 and 5, or something like that, which is kind of neat, you know, and that's something that, you know, kind of talking to Tony also. I mean, he wanted me to, you know, to understand that, you know, especially with craft beer in Toledo, it's really kind of pretty light, you know. It's not like, you know, he said, I mean, he can go down to the attic and, you know, BS with Amelia, or you know, I mean, a lot of people, I mean, I meet a lot of people here, you know, that are in the industry here in Toledo, which is nice, you know.
No,
seems like there's a good spirit.
There is. There definitely is. And and I mean, I come here and, you know, said everybody loves their wings, hot dogs. You know, they do a lot of good food. They do good food.
Prices
here.
are good too.
Yeah. The prices
Daily
are definitely
special.
very good. 100%. You know, and I know Swig's always at other events. You know, they're always doing charity work and stuff like that in the community, which is fantastic. And And this is definitely a place. I mean, if you want to get into craft beer and you want to try a bunch of things, you come in here. Everybody here is really knowledgeable and really cool and open. You can try samples, and figure out what you really like, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. And the other thing is, I mean, I think talking to Ed, I mean, they really do kind of listen as far as if people are looking for IPAs. I mean, they're bringing IPAs. I mean, they're really interested in I mean, just like anyone else. But I mean, especially with how many handles they have and what kind of rotation they have. I mean, they can really go through and kind of please everyone.
Definitely. And they do. And even in there, even for National IPA Day, I was like, which IPA am I going to try? And they do have a number of them. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple things in there. I'm like, I'm going to have to come back in here after we shoot video and try that because I've never heard of it. And that's fantastic. They always have crazy handles up there, and no, it's great. I've been coming here a lot, and everybody else should too, for sure.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Cheers, everyone. Come down to Swig and enjoy.
National IPA Day.
Craft beer.